What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Novocaine. It's the new action comedy from directors Berk and Robert Olsen, and it stars Jack Quaid as a mild-mannered banker who has a genetic condition where he can't feel any pain. When Sherry, a woman he just started seeing, gets taken hostage during a bank robbery, Nate uses his condition to try to get her back. Before I jump into the review, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of the videos I post here on the channel.
So, what's your deal?
My deal? I'm just a regular guy with a regular job, but I've got this condition where I don't feel pain.
Hey, there we go.
Oh my god, you're a superhero.
No.
Novocaine was kind of a surprise for me. It's kind of continued this trend that I've seen this year with movies that have kind of come out. I haven't known a ton about them going into them, and then I'm very pleasantly surprised with the outcome. This movie starts off kind of like a modern romantic comedy, and things slowly start to crank up, and it becomes this funny, laugh out loud, high energy action movie. We're introduced to Nate, and we learn about his condition, and we see his daily routine of how he lives his life so that he can stay safe, and it's a very strict way of living. And because of that, we learn that he also has a very lonely life. He doesn't have a ton of relationships. He doesn't have a ton of friends because of how he lives his life. He doesn't go out. He's not adventurous. Then he meets Sherry and things change. They hit it off. And before they can even really enjoy this newfound relationship, she gets taken hostage during a bank robbery, and he decides that he's going to go and try to save her. What I liked about this movie is how it used its premise, and it knows exactly what it wants to do with this concept. And it's a pretty simple concept. It's basically about this guy who meets a woman, they hit it off, she gets kidnapped, and he decides he's going to go off and save her. And the hook to this concept is that, oh, by the way, he has this condition where he can't feel any pain, and now he's putting himself in these very dangerous situations, and these situations are all the more dangerous for him because of his condition. Because, yeah, he can't feel pain, but that doesn't mean he can't get hurt. It's just that he might not realize how hurt he is. But the movie does a really good job of utilizing this premise in a way that keeps the story interesting. And it finds really creative ways to use Nate's condition to put him in these different situations and to also create these physical and verbal gags. And so there are so many moments in this movie where I laughed out loud. This movie was truly hilarious. There's a moment in the movie where Nate is being tortured, and again, he can't feel pain, so he's never experienced it. So he doesn't know what that is like. And as he's being tortured, he's basically mimicking how he thinks other people react to pain. And it is one of the funniest moments in this movie. I laughed so hard during this moment. So did the rest of the people in my screening. And it is really, really funny. And Jack Quaid has some amazing comedic timing. This movie also has plenty of action, and the action is very well done. But I will warn you that it can get pretty brutal at times. Like, this action is very violent. It can be a little over the top. It's bloody. You see the blood. You hear bones breaking. You see bones breaking. It can get kind of gruesome. And so if you have a low tolerance for seeing things like that, again, I'm just going to warn you that it can get pretty, it can be a lot. Jack Quaid is the lead here, and he is fantastic. And he's had quite a run this year. He was just in Companion, a movie that I really enjoyed, and I enjoyed him in it. And I've really liked a lot of the choices that he's been making with the projects that he's been in. And he's easily becoming one of my favorite actors to watch on screen. And he's, again, amazing here. And he really knows how to lean into the different roles that he's playing. So, for example, in this movie, he's playing Nate, who's this nerdy guy. You know, he's awkward. He lives a very different kind of life because of his condition. And Jack Quaid is tall and lanky, and he totally leans into that physicality to make this character, you know, feel very believable. And it works so well. And again, he has amazing comedic timing, which works perfectly for this type of role and the tone and everything that's going on with this movie. but he's also very charming, and he gets to be a very charming kind of guy. And he's sort of the unassuming hero here in this movie, and he is just so perfectly cast for this kind of role, and he makes the most of it, and he looks like he's having a blast. You also have Amber Midthunder, who plays Sherry, and she's good here, even if her role is a bit diminished, but I liked her chemistry with Jack Quaid, and I thought their chemistry really sold the romance between their characters, even though the romance happens really quickly. You also have Jacob Batalon, who is once again playing the best friend, and he shows up to be funny, and he is very funny. The rest of the supporting cast is also good, including Matt Walsh and Betty Gabriel as two detectives who are investigating the bank robbery, and they have this really great dynamic, even if they're only in the movie for just a little bit. And you also have Nicholson as the leader of the bank robbers, who seems to be having a lot of fun in this sort of villainous role. And it was also kind of distracting because he looks so much like his dad, especially the eyes and the smile. But again, he was good here as well. Now, this movie could have been about 10 minutes shorter to really make this whole story feel a little tighter, because there's a point in the movie where it starts to drag a little bit. Not so much where you're like staring at your watch, but you can start to feel it a little bit. Also, this movie's a little predictable, although I was kind of okay with it because it is so entertaining and it is so funny. But there is a twist in this movie that you can honestly see coming from a mile away. I was okay with the twist, even though it's very predictable, because I think it worked for what this movie is doing. It worked for the story, but mileage might vary on how you or the other people feel about the twist. Overall, I really enjoyed Novocaine. Again, it was a surprise for me, but it was incredibly entertaining. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. This movie knows exactly what it's doing. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's incredibly hilarious. The action is great. It's a little wacky at times, but it's so well done. This whole movie's so well done. The cast is great and committed, and Jack Quaid is just absolutely phenomenal here and is just so charismatic and really sells this movie. So those are my thoughts on Novocaine. Do you plan on seeing the movie in theaters? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe and stick around for more videos like this.